We just edged out Red Bull in Abu Dhabi in a bit of a crazy race, and today's race in Qatar could be equally as crazy because of the tyre strategies. We're aiming to further extend our lead in both championships. Hello folks, welcome back to episode 55, the Carlos Sainz episode of F1 Manager with Mercedes. Of course, Carlos Sainz doesn't actually drive for us, but that is his race number in real life. We are leading the championship here at Mercedes in 2025, getting ready for the Qatar Grand Prix. There we go. We are a lot of points ahead of Red Bull. There's more maths than I can do quickly on camera, but I can count to 14 very easily here. Lewis Hamilton leading George Russell at the top of the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc separated by a point in the Red Bulls. We edged them out last time in Abu Dhabi, but I think it's going to be a little bit trickier today because according to that, we have the fourth best car, medium speed corners. If I can click on the right button, there we go, switch it to car 2, which is technically Lewis Hamilton, and then compare to Red Bull. There you go, you can see that we are not as strong, and the numbers show that we have a significant deficit to Red Bull of 0.01 Gs. So make of that what you will. I'm not an engineer, I'm not an aerodynamicist, I don't know what it actually means, whether it's a massive difference, but hopefully we can strategize our way through this weekend because Qatar, heavy on the tyres, so if we can do a good strategy, which paid off last time, then I think we'll be in a good position. So I'm going to get to practice and I'll see you in Q3 and hopefully we can get a really good grid slot. Alright then, here we are, Q3. We've generally been outpaced by Red Bull, though Hamilton did get P2 at the death in the second part of qualifying. George Russell, though, he had a lap impeded by a bit of traffic, so I don't think that 7th place is representative of his speed. Have been working hard to conserve tyres, so we are going out straight away here on a used set of soft tyres, as you can see. Oh, you can't see because it's it's the manual control screen. So anyway, let's see what the first sector brings. Hamilton quicker than Russell, but Leclerc quicker than both of them, and the Red Bull is flying to the top of the times here. Or not, in fact, Hamilton did an insane final sector and Leclerc on really worn soft tyres. I think they just gave up. Where's Verstappen? What's he doing? He's going fast. So I expect that P1 to be turned into P2 because it's less than half a tenth between Hamilton and Leclerc. Here comes Verstappen across the final straight. He does go fastest by less than half a tenth himself. Right, let's get some fresh boots on and see what we can do with the final lap. Alright, we are just completing our final warm-up lap with George Russell. Fresh set of tyres on. Leclerc has just done his final effort and not improved. So there's an opportunity here for George Russell to get ahead of Leclerc. Verstappen's on track as well. He's right in front of Hamilton. So Hamilton absolutely won't improve because Verstappen is basically blocking him. There's an opportunity here for Russell to get onto the front row, but he's not delivered a very good middle sector. What does Hamilton do? It's not an improvement. This is just turning into a waste of tyres. Verstappen, fastest man in the middle sector. Can Russell at least get into third? No. Hamilton? Anything? Well, that was a waste of time. Yeah, that was a very anticlimactic final set of runs. Very frustrating. Anyway, we have saved tyres for the race. So I think we've got a fresh set of softs and 2 fresh sets of mediums and a set of hards to use. So I think we're in a good position for the race, especially with 2nd and 4th on the grid. Let's see what the strategy says. All set then with the strategy, slightly different for each driver. So George Russell's going to start on mediums, go to hards, finish on mediums because we do have 2 sets of mediums to use. But starting on the front row, Lewis Hamilton, I've decided to give him the soft tyres to get him off the line and hopefully attack Verstappen early on. Early stop onto hards, finish the race on mediums. I think they're actually going to be due in on the same lap. They might end up somewhere together on track at this point. I have forgotten to mention already in this episode that there is a new set of side pods that's on Lewis Hamilton's car. Only George Russell going without them because, first of all, they weren't manufactured in time, and two, Lewis Hamilton is ahead in the championship. So, haven't underfueled, driver options all set. This could be quite a busy race with pit stops and managing tyre wear. I am mentally preparing to switch to a 3-stop so we can attack on the tyres. Let's see what happens. It might be a well-timed VSC or something. Let's do a motor race. Okay then, the lights are coming on in Qatar. 5 red lights. The lights are out, the race is on. Both the Red Bulls I can see are on softs. So it's George Russell who's gone a different way. Hamilton retaining second place here. Can we get him after Max Verstappen? Russell needs to defend against Sainz. And we have held position at the start. So with Lewis Hamilton, let's get at least at least within a second when DRS activates. We don't want to cook the tyres too early, so I'm just going to back off on them for now. Alright, lap 3 begins, DRS activated. We won't get it until we come back across the start-finish straight. George Russell is 1.6 behind Leclerc, and he's actually fending off Carlos Sainz. Hamilton is a second behind Verstappen. But we do need to just look after our tyres. He's going to close that gap now because we're deploying with DRS, or with ERS, sorry, not DRS. We want to get DRS. We just need to cool the tyres down a bit, I think. Verstappen looks like he might have got away here. I don't know what the AI have got in terms of strategy. Verstappen on very worn softs here. That's interesting. He will come back to us at some point then. And Leclerc's tyres are much more worn as well. So if we just keep ours in good shape, we can play the long game here. Russell could be on a very good strategy, but he is already 2 seconds behind. This is coming to us. The forward planning, making sure we had lots of tyres ready to use for the Grand Prix, giving us options. It's going to give us speed. I think I might even go light on these soft tyres with Lewis. We don't want to destroy them. We need to get to that pit window. And if we can just keep picking up DRS from Verstappen, which we will here, then he can just tow us along and do the donkey work. And when he pits, we can attack on our tyres. Russell should have paid more attention to this because he could have got through there. And now we'll get it. He's already driving in clear air. He's right on the gearbox of Max Verstappen, who moves to defend. But there's no defending from Lewis Hamilton, who soars into the lead. Now we just need to drop the Red Bull, see if we can leave it behind. Hamilton cracking on then with leading this race. It's almost a second. DRS for the Red Bull. Hamilton feeling the need to defend. It comes down to 0.3 of a second. So this might flip-flop a little bit. But I'm sure Verstappen will be in the pit lane soon. In fact, he's just lost a load of time through those corners in the first sector. Now we can relax a little bit more because there's a bit of a gap opening up. Just ahead of the pit stops. Lovely stuff. It's almost 2 seconds now. Even better. Right, we made it to lap 15. We actually went a lap longer with Lewis. And Verstappen has followed us into the pit lane. Leclerc will now lead the race. And we've held position in the pit lane. 2.6 second stop. Good from the boys and girls in the pit lane. Hamilton comes out in 8th, a couple of seconds behind Lando Norris. That's given him some decent clear air to push on with. What has Verstappen put on? He's put on a set of mediums, so he's probably going soft, medium, hard. I would say he's actually come out behind Doohan and Magnussen. So that overtake from Hamilton bought us a little bit of a cushion to put 2 cars between us and Verstappen. That is massive. Interesting strategy development here at Red Bull. Charles Leclerc, if you can see here, is on a set of softs. They're not going to last very long at all. So he's gone onto a new set of softs, which he clearly saved, and is now hustling his teammate. Hamilton has caught Gasly. An interesting strategy game that's going on here. Hamilton is just not hanging around. He's deciding to make overtakes wherever possible, and he overtakes Gasly. Let's see where he did this actually. Was this coming out of the triple right-hander? Yeah, he just got a massive run on him and just bullied his way past essentially. Great work from Lewis. Makes it stick around the outside of the final corner because Verstappen is now going to be right on our gearbox. Oh, Perez just swerving into the pit lane there. Battery now empty. This is a problem. Verstappen has DRS and I think could be taking the lead here. No, he's not. We're still driving in clear air. We are. Leclerc has come to join the party as well. But also here comes George Russell. So we'll just keep looking after our tyres because they'll need to stop again and they'll have dead tyres towards the end of the race, and that's the important part of the race where you want some nice fresh tyres. Verstappen going for the lead and taking it. Well, he's not known for his patience, is he, Max Verstappen? And he just decided he wanted the lead and he was having the lead. Let's see this again. Just look at the run he gets. And in true Max Verstappen style, pinches the apex and makes the overtake. Alright, so there's some gaps starting to open up in this fight at the front. Leclerc leads Verstappen by about 1.5 seconds. Lewis is 2.5 seconds behind Verstappen. Russell is 1.5 seconds behind his teammate, but we're going to ask him not to fight his teammate right now. If we can get ourselves into the lead at a later stage in the race and run 1-2, then they'll be allowed to fight. But at the moment, we need to make the strategy work for us. We are in peak and very high confidence. Hamilton is dropping back from Verstappen. The tyres situation, Verstappen's looking after his a little bit too well for my liking. We need to just look after ours a bit more, I think. Let's get to the pit stop window and see where it all shakes out for the beginning of the final stint. Alright, Leclerc is of course the first one in off his soft tyres. He's going to a set of mediums, which will be very tired by the end of the race. We've got a virtual safety car. I'm not sure where it's come from, but it's going to be very useful for us.
So we got a VSC.
There's a time penalty for Ocon.
Delta positive.
Verstappen dives straight into the pit lane, and both our drivers are too. Stroll has crashed at turn 2. He had already been involved in that incident which gave Ocon his penalty, and look at just flies off the track. That classic Lance Stroll stuff there. Are we close enough to hold Verstappen up in his pit stop? I wonder. You know what, we are. There we go. But Russell's going to have to sit behind and wait his turn. Are we block? Oh, I thought we were blocking Verstappen. Verstappen actually had a pit stop issue. We didn't need to hold him up. They just didn't want to let him go. How strange. How very, very strange. Okay, a couple of laps after the VSC has disappeared, and we've actually dropped over 3 seconds behind Verstappen. I wonder if he's been pushing a bit more. It looks like he is. Also, Leclerc needs to look after those mediums. Sadly, I think the VSC is actually going to have hurt us here, but there's still 13 laps to go. What's the lap time saying? We were 0.3 slower last time around. Russell actually 0.5 seconds down. We need to pull this back somehow, but not sure where it's going to come from without destroying the tyres. We might be able to just get away with it, seeing as you see the white line is slightly above the yellow shaded area of tyre wear. So we might be able to press on a little bit more. We are pushing with the engine because we've got fuel to spare. We don't need to have it, so we might as well use it. Right, Verstappen has just got into the lead. We are still 3.5 seconds behind. We just don't have the pace to match the Red Bulls. We were a bit quicker than Leclerc, although Verstappen is using more of his tyres, so we could maybe go a bit harder on ours, especially in the last few laps. So if we can catch Leclerc, then we'll definitely catch Verstappen, because they're still squabbling. Let's attack with Lewis, see if we can close that gap down. Alright, now we might be in with a shout. Hamilton has closed the gap. Russell needs to attack on his tyres as well. A couple of laps of attack and we get back to kind of matching the wear slope. Leclerc has fought back. He wants to win this race. He's back into the lead. Hamilton's tyres are a bit hot as Perez starts to set a hot pace as well. Hamilton now into DRS range on the two Red Bulls, and he's got 6 laps essentially to overtake the pair of them. Let's see what we can do here. Driving clean air. Are we going down the outside of them? We might get one of them. Sweeping round the outside of Verstappen. They're wheel to wheel. He's almost forcing us off the track. But Hamilton, can he take second place? It looks like he can. Quickly deploy. I think Leclerc's blocking the way there. Oh, that's frustrating. We might have it for the hairpin though. The inside line. Let's go on board with Hamilton. He's sending it. Is he? Oh, I thought he was going to take the lead. They're still side by side. And they're very close together. There's the shot from Hamilton's helmet. Let's harvest into turn 1. Get lots of energy back into the battery. We're actually on the inside this time. I think we might have the high ground. Can we find the way through with Lewis? Think we can. Is that job done? Oh, it's so close. They just don't back out, do they? Okay, back into neutral deployment. We might have the line here that holds second position through. For second place goes Lewis Hamilton. George Russell is coming at them very quickly as well. So now, going to push and deploy with Lewis to get him past Charles Leclerc. We still got driving clean air on. We are empty on the battery, but Hamilton is being blocked. Look at the defence from Leclerc. Hamilton, oh, I thought he was going to sneak on through there, but not quite. We're all within a couple of seconds now. In fact, they're within less than 1.5 seconds of each other. The entire top 4. There they are, all on one screen. Here comes Lewis Hamilton then. Is this the moment? Looks like it is. Is it a double overtake for Mercedes? But here comes Lewis Hamilton for the lead of the race. George Russell in the background. Can he take third? Not quite, not yet. Let's top the battery up. In fact, or has Russell done it? He has! He's muscled his way through. Great stuff from George Russell, and Mercedes lead the race, and Russell is on the way for a possible second place. What's the tyre situation like? Verstappen has got a lot of tyre left. Why is he not using it? That doesn't make any sense. But Lewis, we need to pull away. Oh, what's that? That's a car in the way with a puncture. That's a McLaren. Ocon has a puncture. I thought for a heart-stopping moment that was Hamilton. But actually it's played a blind. They all got held up. Leclerc's just lost 3 seconds. And now George Russell, if we play this right, will be able to snatch second place. Let's jump on board. Down the inside. No. Oh, Charles is blocking the way.
3 to go.
It's better not let Verstappen through. It doesn't. But Hamilton actually now comfortable in the lead. George, let's get this done, please. Moves to the inside. Leclerc doesn't defend it on this occasion. And through goes George Russell for P2. And we are looking at back-to-back 1-2 finishes in the Arabian deserts. And Verstappen, from pole to 4th as it stands, will lose a whole heap of points. Why he didn't use the tyres, I will never know. But what a season this is turning into for Lewis Hamilton. It's his 4th win of the season, I think. Another one in Qatar. Job done for Mercedes. 1-2 as George Russell, the world champion, follows home in 2nd, holding off Leclerc by 0.2 of a second. It's another day where points are lost for Max Verstappen. He will now fall to 4th in the Drivers' Championship behind his teammate. Lando Norris is a long way behind as best of the rest. But a fabulous result for Lewis Hamilton. And the 8th world title is a real tangible possibility. And where do we go next? Silverstone. Celebrations once again for Lewis Hamilton and the Mercedes team. Winning doesn't get boring, and that we had to work for that one. There was a couple of points where I thought maybe this might not work out. Feel for Charles Leclerc a little bit because his strategy didn't quite come off. I don't know why they pitched him so early. That set soft tyres in the middle. Bizarre. But what made this race, I think, was our use of the hard tyres. Red Bull didn't use them. They didn't use a set of hards. They could have got a bit deeper, left themselves a bit more to play with. Verstappen, I don't know why he didn't push a bit more. Honestly, this game does sometimes need to figure out team orders and have them implemented a bit more, because Red Bull really should have just let Verstappen go and used Leclerc to hold us up as much as possible. That was their race to win and they lost it. But when Red Bull lose things, Mercedes will gladly pick up the pieces and celebrate. So there we go. Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Verstappen, the order on the track. Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Verstappen, the order in the championship now. Hamilton now leads by 21 points over George Russell. So he's eking that gap out. George only the 1 race win. Hamilton 4 now, which is double anybody else's. Verstappen has 2. Leclerc and Russell 1 each. So yeah, Hamilton absolutely in the best form we've seen him in, I think, in this series. And the 8th world title is absolutely on. We further extend our lead in the Constructors' Championship. 317 to 254. Yeah, a great result. Brilliant result. I think we do need to beware of Red Bull coming back though. And of course we need to make sure we focus on 2026's rules to make sure we are at the front for Season 4. But we do need to make sure we win this year as well. And we're building a nice, handsome advantage in both championships. What's the gap between Russell and Leclerc? That's 20 points as well. So it's just growing. It's starting to grow. And we are almost halfway through this season. So time is running out for Red Bull to halt this charge, because Mercedes might just start to canter away. If you enjoyed that race, make sure you give it a nice big thumbs up for me. Subscribe for more F1 Manager content. And remember, you're the best fans. I'll see you for the next round, the British Grand Prix. It's goodbye for now.